God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Oh, geez, sorry.
The left is the.
Okay. Yep. Roll call, Mrs. Rosato?
I'm hearing echo. Oh, can you turn off the TVs? The TV sound. Hearing myself.
You're hearing voices?
We're hearing on the TV.
Yeah.
At least we know the people at our home are hearing us.
Twice.
We're ready. Roll call.
George Sanders,
President.
Rebecca Bear, Ann Cotrillo,
Here.
Mike Cotrillo,
Present.
Jason
That
Goldstrand,
is-
Present.
Keith Parker,
Present.
Debbie Kulik,
Present.
Wayne Rona,
Here.
Mitch Lane,
Present.
9. I'm sorry. You did move that one and that one?
This one's still coming through.
Yeah.
Well, it might,
There it is. Thank you.
no, it's from the speaker right over here.
Yeah. I figured.
So one of the TVs is still.
Okay, we welcome all of our guests. We ask if you haven't to please sign in. There's paper out there to sign in, so we have a record of who is here this evening. An executive session was held this evening before the meeting for the purpose of discussing personnel, litigation, and negotiations. We need a motion to adopt this agenda for September 15, 2025, as submitted with the Board of Education reserving the right to add to the agenda and take further action on any items raised in executive session where immediate action on such items is considered to be in the best interest of the board.
Second.
Questions, comments?
Do we want to add those to the agenda?
Oh, I'm sorry. Want to add to the agenda a motion to appoint the superintendent as the district's point of contact for the district special construction council with Lyman and Ash.
So moved. Second.
Questions? We're going to vote on the addition to the agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay,
And now vote for the whole agenda.
now for the, I need a motion again. Well, we already had a first and a second, so we're just going to vote for the entire agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Yep. A motion to approve the minutes of the August 18th, 2025 board meeting.
So move.
Second.
Questions? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we are going to move to what I always say is my favorite part of the meeting, and that's to hear, except of course for the superintendent's report, which is always a favorite.
No, they have to be our favorite, always.
And we have our new student representatives here. I'll let maybe Dr. Vitale introduce everyone to us this evening. And we look forward to hearing you each month. And it really is a highlight. It makes all of us up here remember why we come here and why we're on the board, really to hear the good things you guys are doing. So thank you.
So our MCTI rep, we'd like to welcome Caitlin. So welcome, Caitlin. Thank you. Our South rep, we'd like to welcome Mary Ellis. Did I say it right? Okay, welcome Mary Ellis. And then we are so lucky to have two North reps because of some miscommunication as transfer of principals. So welcome Lawrence and Dylan. Thank you, everybody, for representing your schools.
Okay, so we will start Lawrence and Dylan from the north, however you want to do that.
Active presentation. This is exciting.
I'm impressed already.
This is why I don't like going after them.
Good evening, everyone. We are so honored to be here today, and these are East Stroudsburg North September highlights.
So first, at North, we've had a lot of updates to our team. So first, I want to talk about, as board representatives, how honored we are to participate and to represent our schools. My name is Dylan Perry. Just a little bit about my background. I'm a part of the band. I'm the current year's drum major, and then I help out with Mr. Edwards to make sure the school is
And a member of the E team.
This is correct. I am a member of the E team.
My name is Lawrence Cruz. I am currently the senior class president at the school, also National Honor Society president, and I am involved in cross country, winter track, and spring track.
So I'd like to say that I believe our school has done an amazing job transferring between administrations and staffing. I think an administrative change can be a huge deal for a lot of students, especially when I know there are students at North who are very close with our dean and very close with our principal and our SRO officer. So I'd like to welcome Mr. Lenhart, Officer Rivera, and Mr. Duke as our new principal, our new SRO officer, and our new dean of students. They're all making North feel like North, and I think that's always a wonderful thing to feel that it's a place to be. And then I'd also like to extend my welcome to all the new faculty at North this year. The arts, I think, are very important at North. So recently, I believe 2 weeks ago or a week ago, the Delaware Water Gap celebrated the Celebration of the Arts Festival, which is an annual festival that celebrates jazz and art in the area. North was lucky enough to have 2 students participate in the Coda Cats Jazz Ensemble at the festival. That would be myself and Valentina Godiva. We're lucky enough to participate and represent our school through the arts.
Senior parking slots, thanks to new administration and the approval of everyone that was involved, seniors were able to paint our parking spots to kind of liven up the school parking lot up in our school. I do think it was an amazing time. I was there both days from 1 to 6. And so it was the 13th and 14th. It was a long day, but we had a lot of fun. All of the staff that were there, all of the students, and even some parents who came to help with measuring tapes. And I was really impressed by all the people bringing leaf blowers too. And so, but it was an amazing time. And if you guys can see, these are some of our band favorites.
Wow.
Some really artistic people. I personally myself am not very athletic. So this month, we're going to be highlighting cross country and golf, as those are the most recent sports we've been tracking with so far. Cross country, we were able to get a win at Stroudsburg against Bethlehem Catholic and
Freedom.
yeah. Sorry, can't see from here. And then our girls team was able to win against Bethlehem Catholic. I was also there, so or something.
And then our golf team was able to win against Pocono Mountain West, I believe. Yes, which I think is a great accomplishment. North Sports, we tend to struggle, and I think it's great to recognize when we're doing great things. And I believe our sports have been off to a great start this season.
Thanks.
Our North student section. When I asked our student elected North Spirit leader at school, who was in charge of directing making the flags, making the posters, and helping the crowd cheer up during football games and other sports during this fall season. I asked her what she would like to say to the school board, Faith Storage, and she told me, just tell them we bleed blue up here. And I think that's a great way to put all of the feelings of at North and all of our school pride towards it. The curriculars.
So at North, we very proudly have a news station who gets to broadcast the things that happen around the school and help all the students stay up to date. Our North Drive Live is a student-ran news station for the North High School. It helps students stay up to date with the amazing things that are happening around the school, and it helps us figure out when due dates are, and just helps us as a school stay more organized and maintain a stronger school spirit.
Car washes. In the last 2 months, we've had 2 car washes, one for the football team and one for the class of 2026. And if you're looking at the pictures, the football team looks much more filled than the class of 2026. However, don't be fooled. Both of us made over $700 on these 2 days. And so it's a very successful day. And I am very proud as senior class president. So I am a little biased. I do think that the class 2026 car wash was the best. Upcoming events.
Okay. So upcoming, our yearly homecoming dance is happening, which is normally around the school, a big time for us to gather school spirit, go around and just enjoy each other as peers. We have our annual homecoming report where students get to elect official or people to be the homecoming king and queen. And then alongside that, we are hosting a hallway decoration competition, which allows all the different classes. So the class of 29, 28, 27, and 26 each get a respective hallway to decorate and liven up the school, bring a new atmosphere into the school, and just make it a really nice place to be.
I as you know, as senior class president, the officers were able to elect what we would want the theme to be as our seniors this year. And we picked the overall theme to be golden hour. And so because of this, each hallway or each grade is going to get a different time of the day, midnight, sunset, and sunrise to decorate their hallways with. And these are just some examples. And I will be very excited next month to tell you that the seniors have won because we currently have a 3-year streak of winning the hallway competition. I think it's time for us to close it out with a win. And finally, the class of 26 senior sunrise. On the 26th of September, we are planning at about 5:30 a.m. To have our senior sunrise where people will be able to gather together on the football field and bring blankets, maybe a little snack and just sit and watch the sunrise together to symbolize the upcoming new year. And then we hope to do a sunset as the closing once graduation is made.
Cool.
Thank you. And thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Wow, thank you. So, some really clever stuff happened there. Marion Ellis from South. If we just give the tech 1 second for to tell what we catch.
We are South, we purple.
Okay.
President here at South. Some things about me. I am one of 7 kids. For this more or less looks like a family meeting to me. I'm also in SAC council. I help out Special Olympics. For sports, I'm in basketball, track and field. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Sorry. I'm very grateful for this opportunity to be chosen for this position, and I thank everyone who is here. And I look forward to having a great meeting. I have great meetings all year long. All right, to get started, we had a great freshman preview night. As you all know, freshman preview night provides opportunity for freshmen to meet administration, school counselors, and teachers, while also being able to tour the school and find out where their lockers and classes are. This allows the freshmen to not feel as anxious on the first day of school and have a more comfortable opening day. This year, our freshman preview night was so well attended that in our opening presentation in the auditorium, some parents and students had to stand because the seats were all full. All in all, it was a great event, and it was so awesome to see all our teachers come out to meet the freshmen. Opening week was tough as we all learned as South that they were no longer allowed to have phones at all in class. But on the positive side, we were appreciative of the hour each class got in the gym during caf periods in the first week to reconnect with our friends we haven't seen all summer. No phones is definitely a tough transition, but Mr. Trio is confident it will help with addiction to procrastination and learning TikTok dances instead of paying attention in class. Moving on to staff recognition, one of our security guards, Miss Sue, was nominated and received the Teacher of the Month award for June, featuring the Post on Record, which was very nice. She says, "I was very humbled by the community respect I received." Miss Sue has been here for a while now, and this award was well deserved, so congrats to her. And congratulations to September Teacher of the Month, Special Education Teacher, and Zanella and Science Teacher Pat Bixler. Mrs. Zanella makes a difference in her students' lives every day while also spreading joy with her tree cart. Her dedication, kindness, and creativity brighten our school community. The only negative Mr. Triola sees is that the tree cart doesn't stop by his office as much as it should. Mrs. Bixler continues to inspire curiosity and wonder in her students throughout creativity and innovation. With years of experience, she embraces new technology, designs engaging hands-on experiences, and plans field trips that bring science to life. We are very proud of our staff members. And now we're diving into Hispanic Heritage Month.
Back one. There you go.
Chris Bohinski will be featuring East River High School South on an upcoming special for Hispanic Heritage Month that will air on WBRE and WYOU. It will highlight the overall benefits of learning another language in high school as well as visiting countries where those languages are spoken. And as someone who took up to Spanish 3 and had a little help with Duolingo, I can say, nosotros estamos muy agradecidos por la oportunidad de aprender varios idiomas. In other words, we are very grateful for the opportunity to learn multiple languages. And now let's get into the school clubs and activities. The senior class had the senior sunrise, and it was very successful last Friday. We had bagels, donuts, along with coffee and hot chocolate. The students were able to listen to music, take pictures with friends, and do everyone's favorite thing, which is eat food. Next, we're moving on to the cow store. Mrs. Hofstadter's small business management class is running the newly built cow store during third block. Students use their PBIS points to order items from the store like chips, candy, Gatorade, clothing. I'm actually wearing one of the shirts that we recently made. And they can come to the store during their lunch to redeem their orders. This class offers students a look into how micro business is done. Students in this class rotate going down to the store to run it with either Mrs. Whitford or Mrs. Hofstadter. When not in the store, students help keep track of their new orders, update inventory, or work on advertising and learning chapter lessons throughout the website mindset. As of right now, the store is a little beige box outside the cafeteria, but this is only the before picture. Soon the art club will be helping us out, putting in their amazing skills on this blank canvas, and we can't wait to show you the after. That's what you help out, right? Next up is the future educator cohort. 2025 to 2026 school year is off to a great start for our future educators. We are currently in the process of recruiting eligible students, and to this date, there have been over 2 dozen outstanding juniors who have expressed their interest and who are in the midst of the application/interview process for acceptance into the programs. We are very excited for the upcoming year for our upcoming kickoff event planned for early October to usher in the new cohort of accepted future educators from each other north and south. More to come in the near future. And for those attending to the program are immersing themselves in the dynamic field of professional education. They are studying subjects such as philosophy, history, ethics, and contemporary issues, all while prioritizing equitable teaching practices. Guided by the common ground framework, they are cultivating cultural awareness and inclusivity. Additionally, they are employing universal design for learning principles to ensure engagement for diverse learners. And students also engage in practical application by aligning with GATE-4 standards, crafting inclusion lesson plans, assembling a professional portfolio, and completing a 10-day field experience at Jam Hill Elementary starting Monday, September 24th. All right, next is our 12 Plus program. Our 12 Plus program here at South is in its 3rd year, and it was developed for our 18 to 21-year-old life skill support students. Your students do daily lessons during block 1 that focus on getting them ready to be young adults in our community. Monday through Thursdays, they work on 1 or 3 rotations on campus with food service, on campus with environmental science, and off campus at Camelback. They finish work in time for lunch and then go to reading and math classes. On Fridays, they do community-based learning trips. Sometimes it is to place in the community to go shopping, learning about local businesses, or a trip to the bank to learn how to make music. About making. The 12 Plus program 12 Plus transition class visited Bushville Falls on Friday, September 5th. And this was the first for many students, and it was a beautiful day as the class hiked the green and yellow trail. Next up, we have guidance. Our high school South guidance department has the great opportunity to be the first to meet all of our new student enrollments. And this year hasn't disappointed in families wanting to be Cavaliers. With that being said, these meetings have not slowed down the South High School counseling team. Our counselors have been busy setting up colleges and instant decision days and for seniors and informing juniors of the upcoming PSAT test in October. Additionally, the South counseling staff will be conducting the annual financial aid night this Wednesday, September 17th, where they will present a college planning guide for seniors and parents on September 30th. All right, Mr. Murray. We are sad to see Ms. Rogers go, as she has always been an amazing help. We welcome Mr. Murray as our new athletic director. This Saturday, staff will have their first meeting at the Easton Cunningham Field. And while we're on the topic of athletics, fall sports are enjoying a good season and have a few highlights. Saquon Barkley made an appearance at the Whitehall football game last week, and he was inducted into their Hall of Fame. This was exciting for all who attended, and also congrats to the boys varsity team for their first win of the season this past Friday against William Avalon, 37-18. Soccer, on Sunday the 7th, the high school South girls team attended the NWSL, which is the National Women's Soccer League. They ended a match at Sports Illustrated Stadium and was allowed to hold the banner on the field during the national game. The girls also got their name on the Jumbotron during halftime. So, the East Drivers East Driver South both team closed out the season showing major progress. While victories were limited, the Cavaliers dropped 40 strokes from the previous year and were more competitive in matches than they have been in the past 5 seasons, having 5 matches decided by less than 20 team strokes. A highlight came when sophomore Luke Green was nominated for Pocono record at the league, underscoring both his strong play and the team's improvement. This season has set a solid foundation for future success. We recently got a new scoreboard, and Mr. Cold Multimedia 2 is a newly added class with focus on sports media design, video production, and graphic production for the scoreboard. Students are divided into committees to represent every fall sport, and it completes tasks such as reading, creating game day edits, communicating with coaches to update starting lineups to be displayed on the scoreboard, and helping create music playlists for the scoreboard. Then goal for the class is to advance into video production to create media that can be displayed on the scoreboard, and to start an internship program where students can learn how to operate the scoreboard side by side with staff members. We're very excited to show off our new scoreboard in the stadium. Hope you guys don't get too tired of seeing my face on the jumbotron before every game.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. And now representing MCTI, Caitlin.
Good evening, school board members, administration, and guests. My name is Kaylin Olate Mora, and I am a senior from East Stroudsburg North High School, as well as the four-year student in the Criminal Justice Program for MCTI. I will be a student representative for your meetings for this year. On September 25th, MCTI will be hosting their fall occupational advisor meetings and the grand opening of the new edition. On Friday, September 26th, Pocono Home Builders Association will be conducting a National Connections Day at MCTI. Industry leaders in the construction fields and landscaping will be here to meet and talk with our students in various programs. Over the next few weeks, the career and technical student organizations will be conducting their membership drives, fundraisers, and officer elections. Advisors and students are excited about the various events for the 2025 and 2026 school year. That concludes my report.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Caitlin. Well, it's going to be a great student year, and I'd always like to add to the students, obviously come and tell us what's going on, but as representatives, if you ever have concerns or suggestions, Dr. Atali and myself are always willing to listen because you do represent your schools. So please always let me know that. Okay, we're going to move on to my favorite adult presentation, the superintendent's report.
So you are more than welcome to stay. You are more than welcome to head out. And there is no judgment if you stand up and leave right now, and no expectation that you stay through the whole meeting. So Dave, I can't share my screen. It says that you've disabled that. The meeting will go much faster if I don't present.
Well.
All right, well, that's the end of that for you guys. Sorry. I tried to make the meeting faster. Okay, so my presentation for tonight, I'd like to start by welcoming the East Stroudsburg Halls and Walls of Fame and Julian Costa, Dr. Coberline, and Mr. Carney.
Before they get started, North High School students, there's a bit of history here. I don't want to call you a bit of history, Mr. Carney, but Mr. Carney was the first North High School principal when the school opened many, many years ago.
And Dr. Coleman was in previous.
I am really happy to be here. At my age, I'm happy to be anywhere, but thank you so much, student representatives. It was worth getting up and getting dressed for. I really appreciate your report. I'm here because Dr. Douglas Arnold, who is the head of our steering committee, is ill and could not be here. He telephoned me yesterday and asked me to please come, and when Dr. Arnold asks, I deliver.
As we all do.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Arnold is a founder of the East Stroudsburg Halls and Walls of Fame. And I'm pleased to be here on behalf of the Halls and Walls of Fame. I am president of the Halls and Walls of Fame Foundation, a 501c3 organization that is always soliciting funds. So if any of you would like to become a benefactor, you can contact me directly if you have a large amount. We do solicitations throughout the year, particularly with the various constituencies from the Halls and Walls of Fame. The Halls of Fame are operated at each of the high schools and include a variety of different sports and other activities at the school. And those awards or honors are for students at the high schools. The Halls of Fame are for community members, alumni who have brought distinction and honor to East Stroudsburg School District. There are 3 Halls of Fame. There's a Music Hall of Fame, Athletic Halls of Fame, and Meritorious Hall of Fame. Each of them celebrates citizens who, again, have brought distinction to the schools. The steering committee sets the criteria for acceptance into the various Halls of Fame. And the steering committee really does all of the operations, except for the fundraising. Excuse me. Our foundation board consists of 10 community members. We meet once a year. So if anybody's interested in serving as a foundation board member, please let me know. It's only once a year and no heavy lifting. We do have a considerably sound budget right now. We have about 10 years of operating expenses, and that's because we've had a couple of benefactors in the past couple of years. We have really had to work very hard to keep it together for about 20 years, and then the last 4 years have been very kind to us. Nonetheless, we continue to seek benefactors. Tonight, we have a special presentation. Mr. Carty is, as you know, the first principal at High School North. I got to be here as superintendent when Mr. Carty was high school principal, and really was thrilled to work with him. And he's going to say, I promise, a few words. So please, Mr. Carty.
First of all, I'd like to say I too was very impressed with the student presentations, and that's an added twist from when I was here. Congrats, stuff. As a former educator and coach, my goal was always to, make an impact students, just as former educators and coaches have made an impact with me. And when I found out a former student had a book published on my career, I can only tell you it's very surreal, and I'm extremely humbled by all of it. And that student, Julian Costa, is here today. And I could not be more proud of a former North student and his accomplishments since he graduated from East Stroudsburg North. He has written several books and had them published. He also served on the faculty at Pace University in New York, and currently he's teaching at Panther Valley School District. And at this time, he's the hero in all this. I would like to introduce Julian Costa, who was so kind to have put all of this together. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Carty. Thank you, Dr. Vitale and Mr. Catrillo, for giving me a few minutes of your board meeting. And it's wonderful to hear the wonderful things that are happening at North right now. It's weird to think I was anywhere and can remember being where I was 25 years ago. I guess that means I'm getting old, but I had a wonderful experience at East Stroudsburg North because everything was so new. And I know that sounds like a very generic answer, but when you think about it, you never heard anyone say, well, that's the way we've always done it, because there was no way we've always done it. Everything was an experiment, and we'll try this, and if it doesn't work, it's okay, we'll try it differently. Everyone had a voice. Everyone was made to feel welcome. And a few months ago, I was at the graduation. My godchildren graduated in the class of 2025. It was my first time really on campus in a little while. And I could feel the same warmth and the same welcoming vibe that I felt 18, almost 19 years ago when I walked the halls of East Stroudsburg North. So, it's great to learn about history, but then experiencing it in real time is very different. And that's something I think the biggest takeaway I can get from my years as a Timberwolf. So I'm very grateful for that. And that made me want to document that history. 25 years isn't a very long time, but my attitude is if we don't start now, 30 years from now, it's not going to be any easier to try to document the past. And everyone was very supportive as I worked on this. But a common theme that I heard through people's conversations with me was about the wonderful leadership of a man named Richard Carty. And I remember him as my high school principal and just how just great he was with the students and seemed like he really worked well with the staff too. And now here I am 13 years into my own career in education. And I find myself thinking, well, how would Mr. Carty handle this? How would he approach this situation? And I'm very fortunate that I can text him and ask for advice every now and then. But this is my way of giving back to a wonderful 7 years, if we count Lehman and the high school. And I hope to, if I can speak to some Timberwolves here, you're part of a wonderful school and a young but very vibrant history. And it's been wonderful to see that history grow through the leadership of Steve Zoll, Patricia Mulroy, Ben Brenneman, and now we have Mr. Leonard, who I've not met yet. I'm not sure if he's here tonight. But I'll say this to him, and somebody can pass this on, is that Mr. Leonard is now part of the next chapter of North's history, and I look forward to hearing about it, and I look forward to celebrating it, just as we did the first 25 years. So thank you for this honor, and go Timberwolves.
You show them to us?
Can we get the title?
Coach of the building. And thank you for the copies.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So, Rico, thank you for coming out. We appreciate it. It's good to see you again. It's been a minute. Sitting at ATMs a few years ago.
So Mark's been much better than
Good. So hopefully that's what you remember. Julian, I'm about halfway through it, and just thank you for documenting the history of our district and the history of North. I think that, I'm sorry?
I'm sorry, his book's on Amazon. I was looking for his books.
I was like, wait, what's happening? Thank you for documenting it and being
Only 10
kind of
left. 10 left.
our district. I'll get through my thank you, I promise.
Better.
And for just being our historian and making sure that we are on the map and recognized for the work that we've done in creating another part of our district that has a rich history, just like South does. So we appreciate you. I'm a little disappointed that you're in Panther Valley, but we'll let you know when we have some openings. So thank you so much. We appreciate it. Anything else that anyone would like to say to Julian or Mr. Carty or Dr. Koberlin?
No, thank you.
Thank you.
It's so exciting to, it's first nice to see everybody again. It's been a long time. Julie was when I was principal of Middle Smithfield. Julian was there as an elementary school, so I really feel old. But thank you so much for thinking of us and presenting the books.
All right, thank you. And you guys are also more than welcome to stay, but you can quietly exit out. Do you want to hang out here? You enjoy it. So thank you so much for coming out. So the rest of tonight's topics are going to be sadly me talking, and I apologize. We're gonna go over. But everybody's Canadian tonight. I'm gonna go over the superintendent, assistant superintendent's goals. We're gonna go through those fairly quickly. We're going to talk about the new vision and mission of our district. the goal development process, and then we're going to share the grade span goals. And then we'll talk about kind of what's next in our presentations. So first, all of these are on our website as they have to be, but also as they should be, because transparency is important. My first goal for the year is really talking about student growth and achievement and making sure that we are looking at data, tracking data, and all the data points that are relevant and important to make informed decisions and be intentional with our planning. Also embedded in that is ensuring that our building level leaders are comfortable being an instructional leader. When I started here and I started kind of that quintessential listening tour, I heard from our building leaders that they're really just managers of time and space and the operations of the district. And my goal is to kind of transfer that and have them comfortable, but also be seen as instructional leaders. And then obviously to look at curricular programming with the curriculum and instruction department, and just make sure that we're offering our students the best opportunities for success of whatever is next in their life. My second goal deals with organizational leadership, and it's really about leading our administrative team through solid professional development. I believe that there is a trickle-down approach. If I do well in supporting my team, then my team supports the professional staff and support staff, and then they appropriately support our students. So if I'm doing a job well done, they feel supported and they are growing as professionals. Also, it's to make sure that we plan and implement activities for the board. So it's really organizational leadership for the board and our administrative team. My third goal deals with operations and financial management, of preparing a budget that is fiscally responsible, and then making sure that we appropriately conduct a feasibility study, offer some opportunities to develop programs, and better utilize or continue to utilize our facilities so that we're addressing programming and forward thinking for our district. The fourth goal is about communication and community relations, to make sure that we're communicating to both the board and the public what is happening in our district. There are so many amazing things happening in our district, but also challenging issues that are facing us. So we just want to make sure that everybody is not only engaged, but well informed. The fifth goal is human resource management. Man, it's going to be a long year. Human resource management, and that is really looking at the evaluation process of all of our employees and setting a standard and expectation that every single employee receives feedback about their year and how they're doing with their performance so that they can continue to improve in their craft. And then with that, offering professional development that is not only purposeful and relevant, but also impactful and sustainable for the future. The last goal is honestly just professionalism into model integrity, transparency, and make sure that we are focusing on the core values of our school district. So Mr. Snyder's goals are in alignment with my goals, obviously, because we are working in conjunction with each other. And if you pay any attention to EPR, he is done, but he is going to continue working. He will continue to look at programming and curricular review, make sure that we're looking at those data points and making informed decisions, helping our building leaders become instructional leaders, and looking at programs to ensure that our students have what they need for success. The second goal that he is focused on is that organizational leadership of supporting the administrative workshop and our Act 93 to grow and learn. And then the human resource management component as well. Dr. Bukowski has a few more goals because she is new. So Mr. Snyder had more goals when he was still new. So I don't want you to think that we're making Dr. Bukowski do more. She has the same expectation that Mr. Snyder had. Well, maybe we're making her do a little bit more, but she can handle it. So her first goal is very much so very similar to ours of growth and achievement, but her goals, if you read through them, are really just about making sure that she is learning about the programming. It's very funny. We were having a conversation the other day and I said, okay, you haven't even been here a month yet. Although we feel like she's been here forever. It's been only a month worth of time. So these goals are all going to be in alignment with the superintendent's goals and Andy's goals, but about really just learning programming so that we can make informed decisions moving forward. So it's going to deal with student growth and achievement, organizational leadership, operations and financial management, community relations and communication, and then that human resource component. Any questions about any of our goals?
Just lovely.
I just like one, I'm just gonna repeat one I thought was, I just whispered, and at least monthly meet with administrative team, faculty as appropriate to discuss district issues with an emphasis on education and vision. What a novel idea. Thank you, Dr. Vitale. And thank you, Dr. B. Because, that's what we've said all along, that's what we're here for. And it's nice to see goals and it's nice to see vision. So thank you.
Excellent. Well, you queued me up. Thank you for teeing up that one.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
So.
Oh, look at that. Oh, vision and
We
mission.
have worked on really, really intentionally and strategically the district's mission and vision statement. So this summer, we had a 4-day admin workshop. We were very intentional not to call it a retreat because it did not have kayaking or mini golf or things of that nature. It was strong professional development for our team. When I came on board, and this is not something I'm kind of speaking out of turn about, but there was some disconnect with our administrative team and our leaders, and some trust issues, some respect issues, and some feeling of people didn't have a voice or a say at the table. So we worked really, really strongly this summer to build a common mission and vision for our district. So the vision statement really sets what our path is, and then the mission statement is how we're going to do it. So what our path forward is, and then how we act on it. So if you think about it kind of in an easy way, your vision is the what and your mission is the how. So we determined, and all the board members have packets. Those were given out, little baggies. Some of us have opened them. These were given out to all of our staff on the first day of school. We decided that our vision statement is we're maximizing today's potential for tomorrow's success. If you notice that language, it intentionally does not say students, because we're not only maximizing student potential, but we're maximizing our potential as employees, your potential as a board, our potential as a community. So it's not just student facing, but if we do all of that, we are all growing and moving ourselves forward as educators, as students, as a board, and as a community. So we workshopped this. We spent 4 days on this, not an entire 4 days, but about an hour each day, trying to workshop exactly who we were as a district and what we wanted to offer. So when we talked about the mission statement, it was actually much easier once we decided what our vision was. So we decided that the East Stroudsburg Area School District champions these guiding principles to support success for all: ensuring safety and belonging, committing to inclusion, valuing diversity, uniting our communities, cultivating curiosity, fostering solution-focused thinking, learning without limits, and building resilience and hope. So we've received some feedback, if you will, that learning is the second to last bullet. So I want to kind of frame it up a little bit differently of why we did it in that order. Because if you spend any time with me, my hope is that when you walk out, you realize that everything I do is with intentionality and thought. I don't do anything kind of I'm not spontaneous. Nobody would ever say spontaneity is my thing. Don't say anything.
I didn't say a word.
It's all very calculated. So my hope is that when we add some prepositions here, it helps you understand. So the East Stroudsburg Area School District champions these guiding principles to support success for all, ensuring safety and belonging by committing to inclusion, through valuing diversity, to unite our communities. We are going to cultivate curiosity by fostering solution-focused thinking to provide learning without limits with the goal of building resilience and hope. It all builds on each other with the ultimate goal of, although content is super important, nobody remembers what they learned in 6th grade social studies of all the dates, all that content. Our goal.
Jason is upset.
Sorry.
They all remember middle school. They don't remember
He's a-
grade science, but they don't remember. Sorry,
Andy, I'm sorry out there, social studies teachers.
Thanks, Ann.
But what we want them to be resilient and hopeful for the future, in that they are setting goals and they are achieving those goals. That is our ending result, is students who can power through see the end in mind and meet those goals. So those are our kind of new, we have posters made up. They are in every area throughout our district. Now, based on this, we are going to build our comprehensive plan based on that information. Any feedback there before we get into the building level goals? So this summer during our admin workshop, again, not a retreat, we talked about the goal setting process, and I have basically morphed, I don't know, probably 12 different goals development processes into this, and this is kind of my own little version of it. So we talked a little about noticings and wonderings, which is what we've done as a board when I've presented data. From there, I've asked our administrative team to take their noticings and wonderings and turn them into hunches of the reasons why. So if I'm noticing this, why do we think this is happening? And then from the why we think it's happening, build some hypotheses. So if I do this, then this will happen based on that. That then leads into your development of goals. And once they had their goals, I had them identify their primary and secondary drivers. So what were the things they needed that the must-have? So their primary drivers, and then what was the secondary support that they needed? So primary drivers might be an MTSS teacher. Secondary driver might be the actual interventions for math support. So we had them identify kind of what they actually needed, because that for us is what we need to do as a district and what we need to do at our cabinet level to make sure that our building principals had for success to meet their goal. Then the last step of this, and this might sound silly, but I had them identify their superheroes and villains. And what I mean by that is in any goal, you have the champions of whatever initiative you're doing, whether it be people or processes, but what is going to help them do that? And with that, what are the villains? What are going to be the barriers and the roadblocks? In doing that, you can be intentional with your planning. Sometimes the barriers are going to be people, right? We're not going to get buy-in. Well, if that's a barrier, let's plan for how we get better buy-in and address it and call it out. If the barrier is funding, okay, let's find a funding source. What do we do? So we had them identify what were going to be kind of their superheroes with this goal and what their villains were. That way they're able to fall back on the superheroes and then challenge the villains to bring them into the superhero category. Goals are going to look a little bit different than you have seen in the past. They are not directly focused on test scores. And let me kind of talk about this because this might be different than what you're experienced. So if I say I'm going to increase PSSA scores by 10%, okay, what happens when 60% of our parents decide to opt out of PSSAs? I didn't meet my goal, but that actually had nothing to do with the work I did or the work our teachers did or the effort of our students. We right now, and it's actually an issue that we're looking to address, about 15% of our population opts out of state scores. So you're already saying the best we can ever do is 85%, because when somebody opts out of a test score, it goes in as below basic. So we can only get 85% proficient. We look at all the different factors that go into PSSAs and keystones. There are so many different factors. So if you think of a scientific study, it is almost impossible for us to tease out just one control variable to change that. So we said, I don't actually want to focus on we're going to raise PSSAs by 10%. I want to focus on more intentional adjustments. What do we actually have control over? So an example would be elementary, and we'll get to this. Elementary is going to focus on a math intervention period. Well, when they do that math intervention period well and with fidelity, guess what's going to happen? Students are going to have a better foundation in math and the scores are going to go up. But their goal isn't a random percentage for scores to go up. It's to do that with fidelity. That way we're actually very intentional with one thing, not 25 different factors that go into test scores. An example I would use at the high school. So the high school's ATSI plan last year had an attendance improvement goal. And I said, okay, what were your steps then? And all of the steps to the attendance improvement goal were about creating a better environment, a more welcoming environment, a PBIS reward incentive. And I pushed back respectfully saying, okay, well, that means you have determined that students don't want to come to school. When in fact, there's a large population of students that can't come to school. But when you set a goal and then you set about the environment and welcoming and all of that, you're saying, oh, it's the reason students aren't coming to school is because they don't want to. When some of it is that they can't. Some students can't come to school because they have a second job. Some students can't come to school because of transportation. Some students can't come to school because they have school phobia or something else that's a barrier to their education. But when we set those goals, you're assuming the root cause. So I said, why don't we set a goal to understand why students aren't coming to school first? If we understand the trend, then we can address a goal to attack that trend. But right now we're making some assumptions and then we're addressing goals. And then when they don't meet the goal, we're thinking we failed when probably the goal wasn't targeted enough on an intentional adjustment and what we actually have control over. I've also suggested that I never ever want to see a giant pendulum shift, that our move should be micro, that we're making micro adjustments. We're educators. We know what we're doing. We do well by our students. Sometimes you don't have to do a 180-degree transition. Sometimes it's 10 degrees. So let's start with intentional strategic micro moves and make some impact and then adjust those micro moves as we go, as opposed to saying we're throwing out the entire elementary schedule. We're going to rebuild the elementary schedule. Let's just say we're going to focus on Math Win this half hour of time and do it well. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Any questions on that? Okay. So our elementary goals, as I said, all of our elementary principals have these goals. So they are all working in cohesion. What it may look like at each building might be a little different, but all 6 of them are working on effective implementation of a math intervention period. WIN, if you don't know what WIN is, it means what I need. So it's a differentiated period. They're working on that through their building schedule, of adjusting their schedule to allow for a half an hour of a math differentiated period. They're effectively implementing IXL, which is a benchmark and assessment program. And then they are supporting math interventions in the classroom. They are focusing on improving student perceptions of student to student respect. So we talked about that climate survey at the end of last school year, and every administrator had to address one goal with the climate survey. They want to make sure that their students are showing each other respect. They're doing that by creating student leadership groups and meeting with their students and giving their students a voice. They're going to do community building interventions and more a stronger lean into PBIS. And then they are increasing instructional leadership, which if you go back to my goal, is one of my goals for them. They are doing quarterly walkthroughs of each professional staff. We are starting instructional rounds next week. And then we are going to train and support each of our administrators during instructional leadership meetings, which might be the longest meeting of all meetings tomorrow morning. Our intermediate principals, so realize they're both new. So their first goal is to learn the climate and the system of each school. So they need to understand what they're in. They looked at all the data, they looked at the climate survey, they looked at achievement and growth data, but they need to live this and they need to be immersed in that community. So they are developing their own internal communication systems. They are creating and supporting their internal leadership teams with both their professional staff, their support staff, and their students. And they are making sure that there are school safety procedures and protocols so that people feel safe and comfortable in their environment. They are working to create and develop a collaborative, positive culture. They're reviewing all of the climate survey with their staff. They're doing those leadership teams to make sure that they have a pulse on their building, and they're doing community engagement events. They are also looking to increase student engagement, again, through those quarterly walkthroughs for each professional staff. They are going to leverage their use of WIN and then their PBIS program. At the high school level, they are improving the perception of school safety. This was a very intentional wording because originally they said they were improving school safety. And I said, well, that means that we don't have it. So they looked at the climate survey data, and students are reporting that there's some safety issues specifically in the bathroom, which if they can solve it, we're gonna write our own book about it, because that will cure every issue at every high school ever. But they're going to do frequent develop a system of bathroom checks to make sure that bathrooms are being monitored. Again, they're creating those student leadership teams and meeting with them to understand how they can help tackle this problem. And they are better coordinating their security personnel. They are focusing on attention to engagement and instructional leadership. So they are really looking at their observation and evaluation process. They are doing quarterly walkthroughs and instructional rounds. And then they are also looking to connect with their school community through, again, the student leadership meetings, engaging students and their peers in extracurricular activities, and empowering students to have a voice with planning of events and activities. So putting students in the driver's seat, which honestly we see through our student leadership teams here. Okay, any questions about the goals? So what's next? Next month, each department has to have goals. So I'm going to share with you what each department's goals are. Then November and December will be RLPS doing their feasibility study. They sent out a survey today. We're sending out another one in a few weeks for different stakeholder groups. So they'll report on their building feasibility outcome of what they've done, and then those survey results. In January, I'm going to kind of give back of where we are on the progress of our goals. February, RLPS will do another feasibility study presentation. In March, Mr. Snyder will present our comprehensive plan. April and May will be budget season. And then June, we will report out on the outcome of the goals. Right now, what we're working on, besides running a school district, is really just making sure that we're tracking these goals and making adjustments so that we are successful with them. I know that was long and I apologize, but any thoughts, questions, or concerns?
Yes,
Oh, you have concerns. Okay, go for it.
I have to bring them up. I mean, it's really important. Right, so actually, no, I think this is all fantastic, right? I'm looking at the goal setting process, and between the hypothesis and goal development, I'm wondering if there should be some allowance for research to counteract confirmation bias, or maybe just doing some literature review, talking to peers, like identifying in that process.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love me some research.
right, and it slows things down because you're asking people to take a step back and
Correct.
look and say, do an evaluation of what maybe other districts are doing, or what the literature says on these specific kind of ideas.
Absolutely.
But I think it kind of weeds out some of the ideas that may not be as valid as others.
For sure.
And then at the very end, how do we do we're doing our measurement, right? But is there a way to debrief after that and then kind of circle back and have a conversation about what worked, what didn't work?
So we are tasked with, as administrators, our cabinet is going to meet with each administrator multiple times a year to discuss goals, progress on goals, and then allow for that end of the year debriefing.
Okay.
I would say that I spent at least 2 hours with each administrator in June, mostly in June, talking about their goals, their year, and we would continue that process just so that they have a space to debrief, but not only individually, but also as a team.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. It's great feedback. Anything else?
Thank you, though.
You're
Yeah,
welcome.
it's very comprehensive.
Yes, I mean, it's
Yeah.
amazing work and a lot of work, so thank you. Appreciate of all the work from everybody in Central and in the buildings.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Okay, we'll move on with our reports. MCTI report, Jason.
Thank you so much. Moreau Career and Technical Institute, MCTI met on.
I have to get, I just
Oh, you
logged out.
got
I have to
ready?
log
Oh,
in.
I can take a long time.
Yeah, you take your
Take your
time.
time.
I'm gonna log back in.
Business and finance discuss the following. The meeting addressed several financial matters, payment of invoices and investment information we approved, along with a blanket student accident policy renewal for the 2025-26 school year, which holds a cost of $4,000. Additionally, there is a third-party tuition agreement with the Pennsylvania Cyber Charter School and the Commonwealth Charter Academy. They were both approved for an annual tuition rate for MCTI at $8,884.03 per student. That motion was also approved for MCTI to apply for the state and local cybersecurity grant. In curriculum and instruction, the committee approved several new agreements. This includes the agriculture agreement with LCCC for programs in computer science, networking, culinary arts, health professionals, cosmetology, electronics, outdoor power equipment. An MOU with the Bureau of Career and Technical Education was approved for technical assistance activities. And the Rural Education Program overview for the EMS program was also approved. And that's pending the solicitor's review. Personnel items, several personnel changes were approved, including the change of assignment for Ashley Smith to assistant business manager, and Crystal Taylor to secretary receptionist. New appointments were also approved, including Morgan Dowry, accounts clerk, and Joel Hess as a custodian. Additionally, the committee discussed the approval and the final punch list for the new school addition. The motion was sent also to updated agreement of lease for the sending districts and the new board policy 707 regarding the use of school facilities. Several field trips for the 25-26 school year were approved, including one to Barley Creek Golf outing and another to the Green Careers Exploration Day. And finally, we were shown the new MCTI promo video, which, Dr. Vitale has all queued up. I thought everybody would.
This is cool.
This is a fantastic video. And,
If I play it, will the sound come through?
Oh, all right. Back to so.
find out.
Yeah, so that's a no. Okay.
You say no, so, yeah, unmute, from the.
There it is. You put your microphone by it? Or microphone down.
So it's coming.
Pull the mic down.
There we go.
There's like a terminal.
Oh, now it's gonna echo. No, don't do it. It's gonna echo now. Think about that forever.
Open to suggestions.
Put your microphone next to it.
But that's creating the echo though.
Created the echo.
And remember, it's only us in here that can't hear it, if they're out in
In the real world.
yeah. Online.
So you want me to unmute it and just run it with the echo?
Unless just let us hear it.
So a lot of it is seeing it too, so.
Yeah.
Let's see what this does.
Your future doesn't start after high school. It starts right now. Monroe Career Technical Institute.
With 24 hands-on programs across 5 powerful career clusters, MCTI is where passion meets profession.
Your precision machining, electronics, and CAD design are engineering and technology clusters. Train students to build the future one skill step at a time.
Code, connect, and create. Whether you're into cybersecurity, networking, or graphic communications,
Communication cluster prepares you for the world behind the screen and beyond.
serve,
Protect.
heal. Our service cluster includes everything from culinary arts to cosmetology,
Law enforcement, to healthcare, real skills, real world impact. Turn wrenches, tune engines, and pallet openers. In our automotive cluster, students take the wheel of cutting edge training in high demand trades.
if you can dream it, you can live. From blueprint to build out, MCTI's construction cluster turns raw talent into trades-ready professionals. Professional actions.
In career and technical training today for a successful tomorrow.
So, what's your path? Discover it at MCTI. Explore programs, meet instructors, and take the first step today.
Oh.
It's
Makes me want to sign up, that's for sure.
Now, and our next meeting will be held October 6th at 7 p.m. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jason.
Question, will we be able to put that on our website?
I would believe it would make sense to put it on our guidance.
Under MC, like anything under our guidance or something?
Okay, I guess we can look into that. Mhm. Okay, next report is IU 20, and that will be me. We had our meeting on August 27th, and most of the meeting focused on the opening of school. The IU starts with a theme every year, and their theme, which I think is a really cool theme for the IU to have, is Take Me Higher. And that will be something they'll be focusing on doing more for their students and their family. Over the summer, 500 students were part of the extended school year program, and that is for the neediest students who would lose skills if not educated over the summer. So there was a large number of students, 500, who were participating in that and had instruction throughout the summer. As far as some physical things, one of the major projects was completing the roof at Colonial Academy, and that was able to be accomplished right during the summer, so it was ready for when the students came back in late August. We also discussed the effects of the budget impasse at the state level, which is having effects on everyone, but especially on the IUs. And so you are aware the IUs are taking very active steps to discuss with each other throughout the state on how they will handle it. Most of the IUs figure they are in decent shape till November, possibly December, but if that impasse were to continue much longer beyond that, that could begin to seriously hurt them. So they are preparing for the worst and are already meeting throughout the state, not only to put pressure on our legislators, but also to make contingency plans so they will not severely affect any of the students that they serve. And we recall the IU does serve our neediest students. Good news on their induction program for new teachers. It was one of their smallest they ever held, and that's good news because their retention of staff at the IU is the highest that it's ever been. If you attend an IU meeting, you'll know why. The energy level that they have at the IU is really amazing, and it does make you want to be part of that team. Their orientation day for all their staff was very successful. Matter of fact, Dr. Carrie Rowe, who is the acting education secretary for Pennsylvania, was there and presented to our IU. One of the coolest things I think that she did that they mentioned is she gave her email address out and she challenged every IU teacher and staff member, which there's a lot of them, to email her on the opening week of school and tell them about a success that they had in the classroom. And if that is not a cool thing for a Secretary of Education to do in our state, that I think is just a wonderful, wonderful idea. Also at the orientation day, the other thing they do is they invite back former students to present about their success. And in this particular year, a student with very severe learning disabilities who went on to be very, very successful presented, and also a student with some rather traumatic, severe emotional needs went on to present to the staff. And that was so powerful. We actually got to see a clip of that, and it was just amazing to see. And then the last part of that orientation day, last year's theme was Spread Kindness. And their project for all classes throughout the IU were to make rings of kindness and add them up. And they decorated an entire ballroom with all the acts of kindness that were presented through the IU to their students and families last year. And again, if you want to see any of this, and you really should take a look at it, it is on the IU 20 website, and it's well worth taking a look at. So again, I say, as I always say, our IU dollars are well spent and really are serving our students well and our families. Thank you. Okay, our next report is property and facilities.
Okay, items requiring action. Property and facilities did meet on September 9th. Number one, North Campus remediation cleanup for 40 classrooms was done the first week of August at a current cost of over $811,780. Payment of invoices to CHA, the school district engineer, JTL boiler and water heater for $728.70. Boardroom audio and visual upgrades for $303.28. I can see we're ready for that, right? Stormwater Stage 3 for $4,066.40. North Campus Transportation Building for $650. Purple Pit Equipment Replacement for $738.29. JTL Partial Flooring for $3,817.87. Resica Flooring for $1,445.20. JM Hill Flooring for $1,127.50. East Stroudsburg Elementary Sprinkler Replacement for $26,430.25. And the JTL Data Network for $3,176.70. The applications for payment to our contractors, Stage 3 Stormwater North Campus for Rutledge Excavating, for applications for payment numbers 1 through 3 was totaling $207,205.13. The JM Hill School for the flooring to Lehigh Valley Flooring for $5,318. Beresca School Flooring to Lehigh Valley Flooring for $13,659.50. JTL School to Cope Flooring for the $32,753.25. And for the data network improvements to Gaetti at $25,632. Purple Pit for the Scranton Electric at $43,927. We had 2 change orders. The Resica School from Lehigh Valley Flooring to decrease the contract by $22,760, and JTL from Lehigh Valley Flooring to decrease the contract by $48,160. Project updates. North Campus Stage 3 of the stormwater repair is completed. North Campus Water Tower Generator should have a completion date of today. North Campus Natatorium Roof Leak. MUN construction is ongoing with a proposed ending date of October 2025. North Campus Transportation Facility is out to bid with changes to the floor plan, waiting for bid opening date. Smithfield School boiler replacement is scheduled for spring of 2026. JTL boiler replacement is scheduled for spring of 2026. East Stroudsburg Elementary fire sprinkler replacement phase 1 is scheduled for the summer of 2026, and phase 2 is scheduled for summer of 2027. Number 8, the Purple Pit boiler replacement is scheduled for completion by September of 2025. The next property and facilities meeting is scheduled for October 1st at 5:30 here and via Zoom. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Wayne. And for educational programs and resources?
The EPR committee met on, sorry.
No,
It's right.
I had prepared it just in case.
Oh.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Well, Jason covered for me at the meeting as I was away, but I was on, but I was afraid in case if I lost, internet connection. So he ran the meeting for me, but I didn't want to have to do something else. So I did the homework in the summary, but please feel free to.
No, I
add
couldn't, I
as we
could
go.
not match.
Our EPR committee met on Thursday, September 4th at 5:30. We began our meeting with Dr. Marilyn Pyle, our Director of Professional Learning. She presented our first EPR newsletter, and that newsletter was excellent because it really highlighted all of the new things that were happening in our curriculum world and in all of our buildings. The newsletter contained all the exciting learning opportunities that were experienced on the opening days. These staged a framework of learning for the whole year. Some of our topics included AI, the new teacher induction program, elementary school 95% group training, linked it, and a walkthrough look for tool. And there are a few more to mention as well. The walkthrough tool is a tool that will allow the administrative team to collect data on engagement in our buildings. If you just remember from Dr. Vitale's presentation, the engagement, is now happening in all of the buildings. As she stated at our meeting and again this evening, the purpose of evaluations is for growth. And so the goal of this program is to support our continued efforts to improve instruction across the district. And this is, so important for teachers, for administrators, all of it, that we're all on the same page. And our main goal is that our students are engaged in, what's going on in the classroom. So, thank you to everyone in administration who really was putting this forth this year. Next, Amy Polmounter, our secondary curriculum director, presented the program of studies. Board members, you remember, we pretty much get the program of studies kind of at the, very end, and then sometimes we had, questions about it. And so it's kind of taking a little bit of an overhaul. And Amy explained the 4-stage approval process so that we can understand each aspect of it, give feedback as the process moves forward. So she, went over the beginnings of the process, and will continue to do so. So for anyone who is interested on the board, obviously community members, to really come to the EPR meeting so you can see how that process evolves. And the best part of it is, as I've said, it's a true improvement from what we've had in the past, because at our December meeting, we will actually have the program of studies in hand. So, thank you so much for the efforts and for us to really see the process and how it's put together, so that as we read through it, if we have any concerns, questions, suggestions, we can send them to Dr. Snyder, who's obviously working with Amy, so that it can, continue. So appreciate that. Moving on, Dr. Tabitha Bradley presented the elementary science course plans. The amount of work, of course, as we know, that goes into the plans is incredible. So once again, I want to thank all of our teachers who have worked so tirelessly over the summer to put together these plans. It's really amazing for me to see really where we are moving as a district. Our curriculum work is continuing, of course, this year. We have a full rewrite for high school English. And as the former department chair of High School English South and over 30 years at High School South, the last full rewrite for English was 2005. And yeah, so we're talking, 20 years ago. And then we had a small rewrite, not even a rewrite to call it that, just revision because of language in 2012 to 2014. So to see, as I mentioned at our last meeting, and I know I say it at all of our meetings, the change that has taken place within the last year and continuing to move forward, I can say to our students, that are sitting here and those who are listening, what a wonderful education that our school district has always provided and will continue to provide, but for the teachers to be able to really look at what it is that they want to teach moving forward, to have the support of this board and have an EPR committee and the personnel in central office to support that and those goals is really, truly amazing. So I thank everyone for that, and for the teachers who are going to work, so diligently and putting that together. So in conjunction with the full rewrite for high school English, middle school ELA will also need some revising. High school general science, which is like the 9th grade course, will be rewritten to include the course plan with the STEEL standards and procedures and resources. High school personal finance 2 will be rewritten. If the board, if you remember, we had the presentation in EPR last year and I presented it to you. Personal finance 1, this is their first year, having personal finance 1, which is in freshman year, and then personal finance 2 will be in junior year, and that will therefore meet all the standards and such that we need for graduation. I did ask it at our EPR meeting if we, at some time, either halfway through or at the end, because it's, most, I believe it's all semester course. Am I correct in that? Yes, right. That at the end of that, if we could just have some feedback as to, how that went and so forth, so we can, know what it looks like moving forward. And then the high school media 2, which our South representative mentioned as the scoreboard course, which is also offered up north. That is going to be looked at on a continuous basis since the scoreboard kind of came in new and was added to that course. That will be looked at and revised as needed, truthfully, because we want the students obviously so much involved in that to not only be able to create the content that will go on the scoreboard, and not just for football, for all of our sports. I think that needs to be said. But also in the future, having the students also being able to operate it. So, from a technological perspective, wow, for us as a district for sure, and for our students, it's great. And then lastly, I think also mentioned by Sal, the course that will be added is the Education for All. That's our Future Educators course with the NCC guide. So really, again, kudos to everyone. Lastly, the following items were recommended to the Finance Committee and the Board at Large for approval. Acadience, which is the elementary ELA screener. For those of you who are like me, been around for a while, that's the new Dibbles. Everybody remembers that. In addition, 3P Learning, that's the Math Seeds, the kindergarten K1 special education screener, and Reading Eggs, which is a K2 supplemental tool. And then materials from HMH for the additional elementary sections that were added, because remember, we need to obviously give the resources for those extra courses, or I should say sections. And basically, I just want to say, as I know I say all the time, but our district is really just amazing. And I think this month kind of exemplifies the excitement that we've heard, about our opening day, new people coming in, obviously our students and their enthusiasm, that we're moving forward in a cohesive plans and deliberate path. And I would like all of you to tune in for our next meeting, which is on Thursday, October 2nd at 5:30 here and in Zoom. Everyone is welcome and encouraged to attend. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Jason, anything to add?
Is Rebecca on the line?
Couldn't hold a candle. Oh, perfect.
Okay. Anyone from the committee? I have a synopsis. Anyone from the committee want to do the finance highlights?
Do you want to do finance? I can do finance.
Okay.
Yeah, the finance committee met on the September 9th. We moved forward to the board, the EPR requests and the properties and facilities. We also moved forward 3 more. We moved forward the renewal of the Transfinder software for 3 years. Also the Transfinder GIS map system to map out the system, and we also the touch tone renewal for the students. The thing of the transfer finder is probably the important one, whereas that's where the parents can monitor where the students are and when they're going to be picked up. It's for our transportation department, and that when that works well, the parents are happy. When it doesn't work well, the parents are not happy. So I've got a good word from a number of parents this month that it's been working, and I'm glad to hear that. The next meeting will be October 14th. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, George. And batting cleanup is policy committee.
Another exciting evening at the policy committee. For those that attended, thank you. For those that didn't, you missed out. We discussed some new policies, and we are asking the administration to authorize, and we are actually to authorize and direct the administration to post the following items. We are asking them to post policy 105, curriculum framework, policy 113.4, confidentiality of special education student information, which is a new policy. It's a very good read. Our administration did some work on that, and it's a brand new policy. Policy 122, extracurricular activities, policy 122.1, non-school sponsored student groups. And it specifically was a new PSBA policy rewrite to recommend for legal liability purposes. Policy 123, interscholastic activities. Policy 209.2, diabetes management. And we're asking those be noted revisions for public review, those and noted revisions for public review during the month of September and subsequent board action in October. Our next meeting will be 4:30 here in our conference room live, for those that want to sit here. It's a quick meeting on October 20th. And just a correction, I mean, everyone keeps calling it Zoom. For the public, it's not really Zoom, and I want to clarify that for the public. It's our YouTube channel. Because I was just looking, we have 394 subscribers on our YouTube channel. It's ESASD School Board is our channel. For us, it's Zoom, but for the public, it's an easier find if they subscribe and like us, and they get dings when we come on. But join us on our YouTube channel if you can't live. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Pete. Right, we now have public participation, and for the sake of order, it is limited to comments on the agenda by residents and taxpayers of the school district at 3 minutes each. Do we have anyone from the public who would like to make any comments or questions? Okay, anyone online? Nope. Okay.
Another resounding night.
All right, seeing none, we'll move on with the business part of the meeting. We need a motion to, first of all, is there any old business or unfinished business? Great, seeing none. Motion to adopt the board policies as listed.
So moved.
Second.
Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? A motion to elect Holly Arnold as the PSBA president for 2026.
So moved. Second.
Questions?
Do you want to take these as a batch?
Yeah.
Yes. Motion to approve Holly Arnold for president, Matt Vinoy for vice president, and Kathy Swope for seat 1, Roberta Marcus for seat 2 as the PBA Insurance trustees through December 31st of 2028. And I guess the other one is also included, a motion to elect Tricia Cusino, Christina DeAngelis, Jamie Zamforski as PSBA school board secretaries, forum steering committee members through December of 2027. And don't ask me to repeat that.
So moved.
Second.
Questions?
Aye.
All in favor? Opposed? Okay, good.
Should we put in this section, Wayne's Wayne's motion, since it's dealing?
It would
with-
be in this section, right? So can we have another reading of that motion? Because I don't have it in front of me.
Motion. Motion to appoint the superintendent as the district's point of contact for the district special construction council with Lyman and Ash.
So moved.
Second.
Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion to approve revisions for the timeline of the ATSI addition, which stands for Additional Targeted Support and Improvement Plans for Lehman Intermediate, High School North, and High School South.
So moved.
Second.
Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion to approve the updated agreement of lease and the Monroe, with the Monroe Area Tech School as presented.
So moved.
Good move.
Questions?
Just for the record, the land is, for the board members to understand, the land was set up as an authority that actually owns the land, and the building sits on top. That's why we're leasing land that we think we own. It's just a formality.
Okay, thank you for the clarification. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion to authorize the field trips as listed.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion to approve the implementation of the following intramural clubs.
So moved. Second.
Questions? All I could say is there are a lot of them I would like to join.
Part of the question, only 2 of the elementary school have ski clubs. Is that?
So this is a brand new process that we have brought, that I had talked to the board about. That we had some conversations last spring about what would prompt a new activity. So what we did was we created a new process. It's new, so all the forms are slowly trickling in.
So they're not all here yet.
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
We've got some
Good
time for ski
clarification.
club, George. Don't push ski club yet.
Yes.
Any other
Not
questions?
between now and October.
Yeah.
I just saw the 2, I just picked that first.
No, good point. Good question. Thank you. Any other questions or concerns? Then all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion to approve the recommendation to modify expulsion agreement requirement agreed upon expulsion, waiver of school board hearing, release agreement in the case listed is substantially the same form as presented at the meeting. Determinations indicating the infractions were not manifestation of a disability were applicable, subject to the final review of the school district's administration and legal counsel.
Second.
Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion to approve the settlement agreement for employee 9274 is presented.
So moved.
Second.
Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion to approve the MOU between the East Stroudsburg Area School District and the East Stroudsburg Area Education Association with respect to participating in the early college program, dual enrollment program with Northampton Community College.
So moved.
Second.
Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion to approve the termination of employee 10542, having concluded that the charges are sufficient to support termination.
So moved.
Second.
Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion to approve the employment actions listed in accordance with the associated applicable policies, procedural, and contractual agreements, and they are listed in that attachment.
So
So
moved.
moved. Second.
Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion to approve the adjudication of the Board of School Directors concerning an employee termination hearing held on August 12th, 2025 as presented.
Second.
Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
I'm sorry, question?
We voted to.
Keep going, keep going.
Okay, keep going.
Did we want to?
We voted to down.
Right.
I'm sorry.
I
retract
She got confused.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I'm
Okay.
sorry, I was reading ahead.
So we'll
She looked
stand
at
as
it.
an
Wrong
8-0 vote on that one.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, good. Thank you. Motion to approve the resolution from Berkheimer as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion to award items A through E in accordance with the recommendations from the Education Program and Resource Committee and Finance Committee.
so moved. Second.
Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion to approve the payment of bills and unaudited treasurer's report listed in the agenda for the 25-26 fiscal year in accordance with section 687 of the Public School Code, recent directives from the Department of Ed, and interpretations made by the Auditor General.
So moved.
Second.
Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
A motion to approve the payment of the following CHA invoices, applications of payment for services rendered, and change orders in accordance with the recommendation from the Property and Facilities Committee and Finance Committees.
So moved.
Second.
Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion to approve the request to establish student activity funds for High School North and High School South class of 2029. That doesn't
No.
seem possible.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion to approve the request to renew the already established student activity funds as listed.
So moved.
Second.
Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion to approve the request to establish a special activity fund for the High School South Young Women in Medicine.
So moved. Second.
Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion to approve the request to renew the already established special activity funds listed, and there are
Lot
few pages of them.
Bunch of them.
So moved.
Second.
Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motions to authorize and ratify the sale of 72 passenger propane school buses for the amount of no less than $10,000 in accordance with policy 706.1.
So moved.
Second.
Question?
I have a question. I'm lost in the agenda. And just, this is on the future sale? For the future sales, correct?
Yes, this is setting
Where-
a
a floor for us.
Yeah.
That we cannot go lower than $10,000.
And where's was there, I lost, where's the other motion? There's another motion for the ratification.
A separate motion,
Was there a separate motion?
To authorize and to ratify.
so it's both.
So you're
It's all-
authorizing for the future, you're ratifying those that have already been sold.
Oh, we're combining them.
Yes.
Okay,
Is
If you
10,
feel they
okay,
need to be-
is there, I'm sorry, is there a motion yet? I motioned, right? Is there, are we agreement in 10,000 as the minimal? But we have to do that because of. We have to do that.
Well, they're not spinning
You
the
could,
wheel.
you could amend your motion to ratify those that which have been sold for the prices they were sold and to set X as the ceiling going forward, or floor
As
going forward.
floor.
Not the ceiling.
The floor.
Yeah.
The floor.
Ceiling is
Not the
unlimited.
No,
They wouldn't
no,
give us a
I don't
$10,000.
think, I mean, looking at the sale of what was already sold, we've proven we can get up to $14,000 for buses that were higher miles than what we have for sale right now. And I just think, I think it's.
Want to separate them and then we can have a discussion.
All
Well,
right,
we
so is
need-
there a new motion to separate?
we have to have a
Well, that's what
motion
I'm-
to separate.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
would second that motion if you want to make it, Ann.
What did we just leave the other one for now?
So
That was already moved?
motion and second to separate the authorization and the
And the two verbs
ratification.
and ratify.
Second, I'm fine with that.
Well, we already motioned second.
Take a vote on.
Okay, so then all in favor of the separation?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Wait, we're separate. That's the
Yes,
motion. is
that's a
separate.
separate.
Yes.
Now
Now
let's
we'll
vote
take-
in the ones that were already done.
Motion to ratify the sales which have already occurred, which are in your packet.
So moved.
So
Second.
for the no less than 10,000, okay, and any questions on that one?
So
This is for the.
We're saying the ones we've already sold, that no amount of no less than 10,000
was already
previously sold.
correct. It's
already
done.
It's already done deal.
Okay, so in any other discussion, then all in favor of that? Okay, opposed?
Aye.
Opposed to that one, okay. So we had a 7-1 on that one. Okay, now we want the motion to authorize the sale of 72 passenger propane school buses for an amount of no less than fill in the blank.
So I'm a little conflicted on this one. And I appreciate that you opened that up.
You are the bus guy.
I am the bus.
That's
guy,
why you are the
and-
bus guy. That's
and
why.
So I look at this and say, that the market has already said, hey, it's about 10,000, 12,000 per bus, but I really think we should be getting 15 to 18 at least. And when they were diesel buses, we were getting about 32,000, I think we sold them back for when they were part of Roar. I'm still having trouble thinking that they're not in demand. They're still pretty good. There's still life left in these buses. I'd say this month, maybe what we do is we say we're gonna set the floor at, 20,000, see what happens on the sale. If it's not reached, then, we drop it at the next. board meeting.
Can we see how much life is left in these buses and keep them on sale?
We're getting the new buses in anyway. They're just gonna sit there.
Yeah, but next
You already purchased new
We
buses.
already purchased new buses. We need to get rid of these guys.
So what we're saying, Rich, is that we set it at 20. If we find that we're getting no takers, then
Then we,
we get other.
And we readdress it.
That's a motion?
I make a
Can I
motion.
We're in
just-
I'll still
discussion.
discuss.
This is still discussion.
May I, so it is my understanding that when the new buses were purchased, this wave of these 25 buses, that there was an offer on the table to trade in the buses somewhere between 17 and 18,000, and the board voted that down because they didn't think it was enough. I was not here for that. This is what I'm being told. But that
Oh, I
that the
recall that.
trade-in offer was somewhere between 17 and 18,000, and that offer was rejected, and we did not trade them in. So now we're in possession of these buses and attempting to sell. I'm not saying it is fact. I do not have the board action to
Wait,
say
yeah,
that.
I'm just curious to see when we, that was brought before us, because I don't recall that being an offer.
Okay.
I'm not familiar with
But
that, but
even that would.
Even that's lower than what Rich is suggesting. now.
yeah.
That would probably be right though, because Rich,
that would be.
Rich said it's $20,000.
I would have nothing to lose with trying it at 20 and then lowering.
So we put it out for bid
Okay.
and this is what we've gotten. When we put we put the whole fleet of these, both pages out, and these were the best deals we could get.
Well, I think we'd make our minimum at 20 and then see what happens. I mean, the buses aren't going anywhere.
Okay.
That would be my recommendation.
Okay, so then, you made the motion?
Yeah.
originally? So it would say 20,000, so I'll read it again. Motion to authorize the sale of 72 passenger propane school buses for an amount of no less than 20,000 in accordance with policy 706.1, so that's.
And he made the motion, I'll second.
Now, we've already did the first and second, so now we're just voting on it. So that's what we're voting on. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, on your way out, anyone interested in a bus, stop by and. You want two? Two, I hear two. Anybody? Three? Three?
Just clarification, at what point can I come back and say we
Next
haven't
month.
sold? So
Next
you
month.
want us-
But you're gonna put it out for, 20 days, whatever it is on the online auction.
Yep,
And if it doesn't meet the minimum bid requirement, then you come back to us and say, hey, look at it.
okay.
Rich, you're
And then
wrong.
what I will do is I will fact find that trade-in deal and get more.
Right.
information.
I'd like, yeah, I'll remember
Yeah,
that.
that'd be,
Yeah.
yeah.
It might have been one of those long meetings, I don't know.
Okay, good. Thank you. Good discussion. We'll move on.
I'm not sure.
Motion to approve the MOU with the Budding Seed Early Development Center for their use of Restig Elementary as the primary emergency evacuation site and Middle Smithfield as an alternate site as presented with the appropriate indemnification provisions approved by the solicitor.
So moved.
Second.
Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion to approve the contracts listed for their specific services, rates, and effective dates, subject to the review and recommendations of the solicitor and approval of any administration regarding the terms and conditions of any final contract other than price or cost.
So moved.
Second.
Questions?
I'm gonna abstain from the United Way motion.
I will also abstain
two.
from United Way. There's two of them.
Okay, so we have two abstentions for that. Any other concerns or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We have a motion to authorize Mr. John Cerrecki of Westchester University to perform the study and research among the district's K-5 elementary schools teachers as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Questions?
Can we say what that study will focus on, just for everyone's edification?
Let me pull it up and read it.
And stress. That's a stress one.
And just a note is, it is a research among the teachers, not the students. We're checking.
Yeah.
It is examining the relationship between elementary school teachers' perceived stress and their perceived implementation of multi-tiered system of supports and explanatory sequential mixed methods study approach.
Oh, that clears it.
Oh, that's
Got
not
it.
studying much. Yeah.
They're stressing that.
That's cleared that up.
Okay, thank you. I'm
Okay.
sure the
Best.
I'm sure the public.
They are now.
No, stress, remember it's stress.
Well, it can, research is always good.
Always good.
You never know.
Happy to help somebody out with their dissertation.
All right,
Okay,
get 'em.
any questions further? Okay, then all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next section is on enrollment. Refer to your books or information for that. And I just need, unless there's any questions or.
Yeah.
Motions. Oh,
Okay.
So something happened very quickly, and it happened very quickly. I would like to possibly consider going back, and I hate doing this, like, because I would always yell at people when we did this, but the, on the board agenda, can I do this real quick? We kind of went through real quick, but, 13E with conduct disciplinary procedures.
Mhm.
We all voted aye on that, and I'm not sure that was what our intention was, or that wasn't my intention.
They told me my intention was incorrect.
No, I think you.
No.
Oh, is that?
So it was a motion to
Oh,
approve
okay.
the adjudication, and the adjudication was to return the
Okay,
employee.
good, all right,
Yes.
thank you.
So it
It
was.
was,
It was-
It was.
Good.
Yep,
that-
Thank you.
that-
it was as recommended by the board.
The moment,
Yes, you had a moment too?
I had.
Okay, thank you,
Good.
thank you.
Okay, good. No, I'm glad.
We're all good with the moment.
Excellent.
unless you
That
want
was
to
cleared up.
reconsider.
No.
Am I hearing that we're? Okay
with that.
I don't believe that was the question, no.
I'd make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, second, all in favor? Opposed? Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you, everyone.